Well, it's official. Sony has killed the PlayStation View. And you know what? Get used to it. Because here's the thing. I'm going to give you a different outlook on this they call it what is the word that they call it, over the top services, these internet TV services. I'm going to give you a lowdown on what's this service and what's happening here. So Sony has rolled out the PlayStation View in the US only, by the way, and back in 2016. So that's about 3 years, and they are going to officially shut it down January 30th of 2020. So the PlayStation, if you don't know, the PlayStation View was actually a mix of live and streaming video services for about $50 a month. It only managed to hit about 500,000 households in the United States versus Netflix 158 million subscribers, which is one of the reasons why Netflix isn't going anywhere. There's too many people that it's going to just poof up and vanish. They can't do it. The thing about it is, these over-the-top services, these actual live TV services, they're in some murky quasi space here. They really are. So, what it was designed to do was to, basically provide an alternative for the cable industry. A lot of people didn't like the services being so expensive for Comcast and Verizon and Cox Cable and Spectrum. They all have it's bundled deals that people, a whole bunch of fucking channels that nobody watched, essentially. So that's what was going on. It was inevitable. You know what I mean? It was either, the prices just kept going up and up and up. So let me just give you a background history on me. I personally, which I will not disclose which one, but I work for a cable company. And I hear this shit every day. I'm actually in the customer service field where they'll say, oh, I got PlayStation View. Oh, I got Hulu and Netflix and Sling TV and all of this other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And they are under the impression, which, I get it. I totally get it. They're under the impression that the cable companies is right, stuffing all of these channels down, your throats. The situation is this. Cable companies actually rent, for lack of a better word, these stations. They go to these conglomerate companies, right? And they say, hey, because broadcasting is hella expensive, we can broadcast these stations for you. We'll give you X amount of money for all of these stations, and we'll broadcast it for you. Obviously, we're going to get a little bit of a cut, out of it, but you'll get your money. I guess I should rewind back a little bit. So a long time ago, before cable companies actually were to be, these conglomerate companies such as Viacom were gobbling stations, networks, and things like that. Because of the millennials actually don't watch TV anymore like that. They don't really care too much for live TV. They don't need CNN or Fox or any of these fucking stations because it's all at the fingertips of the internet. Their phone gives them live feeds through widgets and shit like that. There's no reason. For sheer entertainment is the only reason why you would have some sort of TV services. So now these companies like Viacom are left with all of these fucking channels under their belt. And they got to sell it. So cable companies like us, we go through a negotiation. Hey, we'll do the same contract again. And these conglomerates are like, actually, I'm going to need for you to give me some more money. And then the cable companies go back and forth with these conglomerate stations, right? Or these conglomerate companies. And they say, listen, all right, we'll cave. This is the negotiation. It'll last for about a year or 2 years. That's the contracts. And then they renegotiate again and the process starts over and over again. They don't want to fire these old companies because that's a lot of fucking money as well to pay all these people these pink slips. So they don't want to necessarily do that. But someone had the idea to say, hey, which I believe it was probably the precursors were actually Sling TV and shit like that. They came out of nowhere and was like, you know what? I'm gonna personally go up to these companies. I don't need anything to be broadcast or anything like that. People can just go to a website and we'll do it this way. And that started the precursors. That started the chain reaction of these internet TV providers. You got Direct TV now. You have Hulu. You have Sling TV, Phobos. All of these fucking companies are trying to get a big piece of the pie, and it's funny because it's fucked up actually. Because now, you remember that company I was telling you about, like Viacom, and they have like 70 channels under their belt, and they force these cable companies to actually buy it. You know what I'm saying? You can't pick and choose. You either buy all of them wholesale or none of them at all. These other cable companies was like, okay, I'll do it this way. And Viacom and these companies thought they were being real slick about that shit, and they started taking the money. What that ended up doing is having people stop buying cable TV and going directly to these internet providers, which they got their money from the cable TV more so than anything else. Now, when these internet TV providers try to negotiate on the table, they can't really fucking negotiate, to be perfectly honest. They can't do it. Now they have to raise the prices. And now they have all these losses of money. And then we raise the prices because people are not really buying cable like that anyway. They are under the impression that they can get it elsewhere. And it just keeps going up and up, on each end. Eventually, it's going to come ahead to where these companies are going to be like, fuck it, I'll just create my own fucking service and I'll do it myself. You got Disney, you got Comcast with their Peacock, ridiculous name. All of these companies are doing it. So here's the thing. Live TV is just not as important as it used to be. It will never be because of the millennials. Once these old ass people expire, they're going to be in a heap of trouble because the older companies are doing it. Here's some news for you, right? Scanning this real quick. 16 million homes in the U.S. does not even have cable subscriptions anymore. And that's 14% of the overall market. But the figure is growing, right? Because people are going there. And no wonder why Sony dropped the shit. It's too much fucking money. It's too much. It's too much. Now you got Disney. You got to pay $10 for them, $10 for them, $10 for them. You would think that that's cheaper, ready to go, but they're giving you less content for more money. But that's cool because, again, you don't have to pay a whole bunch for shit that you don't want. I guess. That's the thing. So I knew this was going to happen. You know what I mean? And this goes to like the Google Stadia and shit like that, which I do game related news and the like. I knew this was going to happen. That's why I didn't want to buy that shit. But you know what? The whole industry is getting fucked over and out. Because Monday, AT&T lost nearly 200,000 subscribers to their DirecTV Now service. That's that's almost half of what the PlayStation Vue has been doing. You gotta understand, it's a lot of fucking money to do this shit. It is a shit ton of money. It is a lot. It's a lot of money. You know what I mean? And they can't. So Sony's actual statement was the highly competitive TV industry and the expensive content and network deals has been slower to change than we expected. Because of this, we decided to remain focused on our core gaming experience. That's the long and short of this bullshit. That's what's going on here. You just can't sustain it. You can't sustain it. Maybe Google and YouTube, maybe they can do it. But you need a lot of money to pay for these networks. So it's dead. And guess what? This is not going to be the end of it. There's going to be DirecTV that's probably going to go next. DirecTV Now, the internet service. And then T-Mobile is getting into this shit. It's not a sustainable thing. You're going to have a lot of these blossoming, I can't even say the fucking word right, blossoming companies. They grow, they die. They grow, they die. They grow, they die. And guess what? The service is over. What's going to happen to DirecTV and all these other what's going to happen to PlayStation View? What's going to happen to them? Okay, you pay for your services. We're done. We're done here. Their business is done. It's not going to be the last. On other news, though, Sony has actually allowed for their TVs to play Apple TV. Look, they're not playing around. They're cutting the fat. They're cutting the fat everywhere. Everywhere. Some TVs have it, and it's going to be via a firmware update, and then some other TVs won't have it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I wanted to actually hit you up with this news. I know I don't really do this, all things Sony specific, videos, but I figured, now's the time to do it. Let me know in the comments what you liked or disliked about the video, and if you liked it, a sub would be appreciated. I would really, really appreciate this shit. And we're out.